All right, there we go. Let's see how you get this graph out of my background. There we go. All right. We're going to wing it. Good. All right. All right. Where did I put that metal thing? All right. Can't find it. Well, I'll just dump them in. Okay. Bean in. Which I guess is charge. Oh, what did you said it's a 20? So smooth. Oh, I think that's the sign for turning point. Okay. I'm just use the same principles when I do with roasting with any other roaster. I'm gonna just adjust one thing and then I'm gonna leave the air running. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust the heat and then leave the air running at the same and drum. We should do a Twitch script where it roast on Twitch, but have all the controls handled by chat. It'd be a great way to burn down my house. All right, so we're at 94. I think I'll bump down the temperature a bit. No, you know, I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it running. We're gonna keep it running. Keep it running hot. But if it does start to show a little downward trend, I will drop the heat a bit. It's kind of slow. I'm just gonna oh Jesus. Okay. Yeah, Falau said it's worse paying $200 for artisan. That is the saddest thing when you. I'm glad like Espresso Outlet doesn't do that anymore. Where they're like, there's other vendors that are like that just sell you just the controller without the artisan like add-on support or whatever. I'm just gonna guess that the green one is ROR, so it looks like it's going on a downward curve, which is fine. Just off the bat, roasting with the Kaleido is definitely a lot quieter. Even the older ones are still pretty quiet. Oh, geez, this is a steep decline. So it plateau out, so I'm gonna just. Looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, this is gonna take a long time. We're good. Hold on. There's a chat. I forgot to get back to chat. I probably did something wrong. It shouldn't take this long. I know they roast faster than as fast as like is what I'm used to. So I probably set up something wrong. But I'm gonna double check to see if it hit a yellowing phase. Yep, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna hit dry end. Yeah, Brew Weasel saying, sure, taking its sweet time. It's okay. I probably did something wrong. I'm not sure. Maybe I was supposed to put the environmental temperature up higher, right? Because it'd make more sense. Right now, the environmental temperature is really low. I think it's supposed to be like pretty high up there. Well, it's getting up there. It's moving along. I don't think it's going to reach any SCA guidelines of roasting within 12 minutes during a competition or whatever the rules are, but I'm pretty sure I probably should have adjusted like they call it smoke, but the exhaust speed. I probably should have adjusted that a little bit more. Maybe lay on more of the heat, kept it up a little bit higher. I guess I could have went on Rostetta and see how they were roasting with it. Yeah, I really think I should have kept up the fire. But I wanted a pretty ROR curve. Josh is here. Not Sloppy Josh. Not the Sloppy Josh, but I think it's Josh. Rostetta Josh? Is that Rostetta Josh? He's on the Discord chat. He's probably seeing the way I'm fucking up my roast right now. I probably should have practiced with this a little more. Oh well. And Breweasel's here. Now he's on Discord. He was on YouTube for a bit. Yeah, I think I messed up this roast. That's okay. This is like be more speeds. I hope that was Josh from Rostetta. Okay, we're gonna hit first crack one day. So this is a classic roast where it takes the classic time of more than 15 minutes. Yeah, I think first crack won't happen to like 190s in this one. If it even does happen, because the thermal inertia was so low. I should have really looked at Rostetta and see how they roasted with the Kaleido first before doing this. Oh well. I heard one. There it goes. All right. I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna snag a few beans. Put that back in here. Cool those off. Where's my sticky? I pulled out. So at 1 minute mark, I'm gonna pull out some more beans for 1 minute in terms of first crack. Pull out again at 1:45. No, I didn't get any beans. Minute 45. Then we're gonna pull out more beans at 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and then 3 minutes. Two minute 30 seconds. I'm gonna drop this at 3 minute mark. Beans out. A little smoky. Well, I went to 3 minutes for first crack. I usually don't go that far. But yeah, it's smoky. Should be smoky. Oh, I don't have my airwave on too. I didn't want to plug that in. I've been having a lot of issues with I need to get a sub panel basically is what I need to do. Man, that took 20 minutes. Boy, I've really fucked this roast. I gotta figure out what I did wrong. Let's go look at Rosetta real quick. Yeah, I messed that one up real bad. Let's go out of here. This is why I was hoping Josh would stayed. Look at this guy. And we all know him. Let's see who. I don't know who to follow for Kaleido. Let's see. Roaster type. Kaleido Sniper M2. Whoa. No! This is probably the stuff I should have done before. Prepping for this roast, but I didn't. Steely Joe sounds like fun. Let's see. He went for a medium. Mine was like a medium too, so. He dropped it at 10 minutes. What's he done that? What's he doing now? Well, how many grams did he have? That's 400 grams? What the fuck? Damn, he has an environmental temperature at 220 C? Yeah. See, I don't know what I'm doing. I probably should have raised it up higher. Yeah, that makes sense. Because it's a convection roaster. So I really got to set the preheat on this pretty high. Let's see. Let's go find another one of his mediums. Oh, they start pretty low on air. Okay, I started too high on air. Because if he's starting at 20, I started out like 50. Burner at 60. Let me turn this off, sorry. Okay. It'll probably be a lot chocolatier from what Talau's telling me. Okay. We got time for another one. Well, actually, no. Well, fuck it. Whatever. We'll do it. I'm gonna get this down, boys and girls. Oh, I should stop this roast. Can I save this? Can I save? Oh God! I should have ended this. The beans have been out. Patron. Okay. I'm gonna really heat this up. I'm gonna set this fan at 20 because they augment their fan a lot. Does he? No, he doesn't. Not really. Damn, they really don't. Guys, really don't use that much of your air. Let me look at another Kaleido profile. We'll see. We'll try we'll try that. A legacy profile. Oh, it's still the same guy. Filter. $250. Roast title contains. Oh, I don't know. Try more. We'll try Kaleido cereal too. So people are not naming them. Keep on Kaleido wrong. There we go. Oh, this is Josh. Let's see what Josh does. Josh has been roasting for a bit. He's the guy that runs the site. Hey, wow. Yeah, I'm definitely running air way too high. Let's see. He starts off when he drops. 195. Okay, maybe I'm too high. What's his drum at? I'm gonna go to another one. I'm gonna go to Steely Joe. Did about 350 here. What's he starting at? Okay, I'm going way too high. What am I doing wrong? Burner at 65. Keeps air constant. Oh, I can't even see his air. Double check something. Check OBS. Okay. Let me try another roast. He drops at 195C. Environmental times 189. About took 14 minutes. I'm gonna try a faster one. I'm just looking at this guy. He's been roasting a lot too. Air 70, roller 70. All right. No way. More scales on the fritz. Its convection logic would be set some airflow to help blowing out humidity. Oh, I've got 20 minutes. I have to choose my time wisely because I pick up my child. I'll try this again later. And I think I'm gonna try it with using I'm gonna go hop on Rosetta and just see if I could grab one there and just use the PID whatever, one of their cars. So I just gotta find a bean that's similar to one. I have a bunch of different ones, so who knows? Yeah, I don't think I have enough time to do another roast that fast. I could do one real quick on a Q bean. I should have just repaired a roaster today. I just wanted to roast something. Anyways, I'm gonna do a cross-section cuts of those beans and then I'll post them up. And I'm probably I got the weekend off this weekend, so I'm gonna probably try roasting this weekend. And hopefully if I get those heat sinks in, I might be able to install it tomorrow and then actually start roasting with the backpack on. A lot of people are asking about it, so I need to finalize the design. Yeah, I use those Milwaukee blades. I just cut them in half and then I kind of peep what they look like. They cut them really well. You might need a new blade. I literally just pull them out of the pack and it cuts them perfectly every single time, surprisingly enough. Then I have my little microscope thing I have for when I do soldering work. Like when I do SMD soldering work, I got my little microscope that I use to kind of to zoom in on the bean and see what it kind of looks like on the inside. These should be really, really well done inside. I now got to buy more beans because I still want to do this, you know, cutting the cross section of the bean and seeing how it differentiates over time. Because yeah, even when what's his face? Let me bring that up. When Sky Cowboy said, "Oh, you're gonna have really chocolatey notes just based off of the burnt ends of your beans." On the one of them, let me show you a picture. So there's at first crack, right? And then you move it over. This is about a minute into first crack. You could kind of see it's not as uniform, I guess, as it could be. There's another bean at about like 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But at the end one was the more surprising one, where you could see like the little burnt ends. Yeah, and Sky Cowboy was on the point. It really did have those, like this chocolatey, or not chocolatey, there's more roasty or taste, I guess. Let's see what he described it as. Yeah, he said you can taste the smokiness. Yeah. And then when I first took a sip of that coffee, I was like, oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I can taste the smokiness in it. So curious to see what else. I want to do it with the Kaleido. Once I get a faster roast on it, and I got to get more beans. I want to do one on the Kaleido, then I want to do one on the Cafe Logic Nano, and hopefully I'll assemble the Cormorant. Oh yeah, I got another roaster. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 roasters altogether. So then I'm gonna try that same cross-sectional stuff with cormorant on high beam, because I got the high beam arcs. These things. Oh, let me get out of this. I'm not gonna roast till later. Yeah. So Will was able to send me some of these high beam mark units, so I'm going to try that on the cormorant and see how that goes. Not exactly sure how I'm going to hook it up, but that will be one of the next things. And then I'll probably post up all the results to see what, how each roaster through like first crack, second crack, how it kind of does it uniformly roast those beans internally, uniformly, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of like another side project. I'll post up the results on a forum post here. So that'll be one of the next things to do. And then along with that, I still got to finish up the different motor attachments to the V1. So with the backpack, there's going to be either an option for ESP32 connected with a stepper motor and something called a thermocouple. So we're going to try that. And then I'm waiting on Talal to release his airwave thing. He's working on this cool airwave project, but I think he's doing cool mic stuff with it, so we'll see. First crack detection, I think he said he's working on, so I'm curious to see what he does. Because yeah, on the airwave over here, this is the airwave. That little thing in the right. Wow. There you go. I think he said he's working on first crack detection. He's doing a bunch of stuff. So he's gonna become the Skywalker whisperer soon. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I'm excited to see what he does. Because if he does what if he somehow makes a that's crazy, man. I really want to try that, but I'll wait. I have too many projects going on, and I don't want to. I literally need to send Rob Hoos a functional roaster before he starts to believe that the Skywalker's complete shit. He had an electrical fire in one of his, the second one I sent him, and the first one the bulb fell out. I don't know how the hell that happened, but the fucking bulb fell out of the holder. So I was like, damn, this is really embarrassing. Is there your recent ones that you posted? Gotta check this out. Hold up. Hold up. Hey, thank God. Hello. Let's find Talal. The latest roasts. God damn, 34 published roasts? What a stud. This one? We even got airwave on there? Damn, you fancy. Look over top right airwave. Interesting. Oh, it's the, okay. Yellow curve. Shit, that's pretty cool. Was this following a background curve or anything like that? It looks smooth. The ROR. It is compensating ET. Oh, okay. Get a camera, Talau. You gotta show us what it's happening. You gotta show us the magic. Yes. I'm excited to see. That's fucking cool though. Got the airwave to adjust. PID. Now they just need to make it an affordable airwave. Yeah, airwaves are expensive. They're expensive, but man, not having to put like another vent hole in my garage for mice to come crawling in is kind of cool. But there's no smoke, exactly. Like I didn't believe it at first, and then I did a lot of roasts with it, and especially with the 1 kilogram machine, I did a roast, and I didn't have like any ventilation, and my whole garage, it looked like I was like, I'm pretty sure my neighbors thought I was just smoking weed every day that week. I was testing it, and then because I would open up the garage and it looked like something out of Cheech and Chong. So I don't roast too much in the. I don't roast with the kilogram machine too much often in the daytime. But yeah, I do like the fact that the airwave is, yeah, it's like saying in an affordable roast. You know what though? If Tal does all this, you'll still get away with the cheaper roasting setup than a roast, because I think roasts are like 10K minimum used. I don't know, but probably minimum 10K to purchase one. And under their TOS, they have the ability to like revoke software. So like if you were to get a unit and they decided they don't like the way you're roasting, they could always remove your access to the software. I know they did it with the guy who found a roast at a FedEx sale, like in the warehouse sale, because they marked it as lost, and and they told him he had to pay he'd have to pay up to like $3,000 to $4,000 to activate it. Yeah, if you look on the EAF Discord, they has like this whole guy talking about it. So I mean, I'll give it to them. They have made the roast to the point where it's really user like friendly in terms of repair. That's what they kind of focused on, because if you were to compare it to like a bellwether, where repairs take months, the technician says it's not an issue, your coffee comes out tasting like dick, you're losing profits and everything, and sometimes the technician can't come out for another month. Where roast will literally like have it set up to where it can be fixed in a timely manner. But they're two different kind of roasting systems and sizes, so I can't really compare them. But I'm just saying, roast at least gives you an option to make it easy enough to repair on your own, where things like a company like Bellwether makes it really difficult. But yeah. So yeah, if you do find a roast at a UPS FedEx auction, you're gonna have to pay like $3,000 for it to activate it, and you have to call them, and I think they tried to delete most of their posts when they came into their unofficial Discord. I can't remember, but it was crazy because they went into that Discord to talk specifically about that issue because they're like, you never see him on the EAF Discord until that was the only time I ever seen them talk. Was when that guy brought up like, I can't activate this roast. Yes, that is the biggest problem right now with me is I have too much coffee. I have way too much coffee right now. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Don't even get started on Bellwether's whole walled garden to roasting approach where there's no even the manual mode. You have to follow whatever profile there is. And of course their profiles work best for the beans that they offer to sell you. Like they're I don't know what they're tiered as, like they're partnered beans. Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of the Bellwethers. Although I've had coffee from them and it tasted pretty good. From one of the roasters out here. I just wasn't a fan of all the other stuff behind the scenes. And it was kind of sad to see James Hoffman be like in bed with him. Well, you know, it's all right. You got to make your money. You have to go get. You have to get a. Now you have to get an airwave. So it could be quadruple the amount that it costs for a Cubine. Oh, is Kevin? Kevin is supposed to be roasting with Brian Kwan. He's like a. I don't know what he is, but he's like popular. So I'm curious to see. He's supposed to do a roast along on his patio setup in. I think he's in SJ or San Jose. He's gonna show off the Skywalker to him, knowing that stream is probably gonna catch on fire. I'm gonna tell him right now. Plus 10 points if Kevin causes a fire with the Skywalker. I'll leave cupping on. I'm gonna find my phone. Woo! Sorry. I'm back. Uh-oh. I ran off. Brew Weasel is correct. I looked at the time and I was like, oh shit, I gotta pick up my kid. Well, I guess now that he's here. Did my camera turn off? What happened? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm back now, so maybe I'm gonna roast with the Kaleido again. Yeah, let's roast with that. I'm gonna see if I get my airway. Oh shit, this is still connected. Alright. It doesn't exactly work. Okay, one more roast. Okay, one more roast using the Kaleido. I'm just gonna leave the airwave off. I really need to get a new sub panel for my garage. Gotta remeasure out this this part. We're gonna get a fast roast on the Kaleido very soon. Okay. Good. Alright, we're gonna get this down. So I'm gonna go ahead. I am going to start this bad boy. Ooh, we got some beans left over. Second crack. Alright. So now we're gonna do it differently. I'm gonna put 70. I'm gonna do manual 70. See why this tablet sucks. All right. We're gonna try to roast this fast. Okay, so let's load this up a bit. Okay, I'm gonna top that off. Okay. So, oh, almost made a mistake and didn't almost lock my shit. Okay, there we go. All right, that's good. We're gonna drop these beans in. Beans in. Let's get that set up back. Take a peek at Rosetta. I don't know why it resets back to 20, but John 7. So we'll let this run. Let's see where we're at. We're at minutes, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Hope we're on track. So that's roasting a bit. We'll keep it there. I'm gonna check chat. All right, cool. No one's really there. I just wanted to get this Kaleido roast out of the way. I haven't budged on the fire or anything, so this curve is happening naturally. It is moving along quite a lot faster. So I saw it go up a little bit, so I figured I'd try at least increasing the air and maybe just keeping the fire on at 80. But I'm looking at other people's and they're like, their environmental temperature is like 202 degrees right now. Mine's still like, it's on the lower end. Oh. It's dry end. Maybe I have a bad bulb or a bulb going out or something. Well, luckily, you're at 167 degrees at 8-minute mark, so I think we're on a good track right now. I don't want to be too fast because I'm not shooting for like roasting like the Nordic style or whatever. But you can see how increasing the air does decrease a little bit of the ROR curve. You're drawing away heat from the beans, humidity and whatnot. Mostly the heat part. Looks like we're on good track. We're on track right now. Oh, I should probably get this set up. Man, roasting on this is actually kind of, I don't know if this is going to be like this all the time, but it's pretty easy. See, the curve kind of went up. Probably pull a little more air out, and it should go back down. So like right around here, it went up a bit. Increase the air just so it pulls my air out. Cools off the beans a bit. Another cool nerdy fact is I think Martin Munchhouse brought this up that just left with air and heat at the same temperature, roasting your bean will kind of tend to follow this ROR curve where it kind of picks it up and then trends downwards. First crack should be coming up soon. There it is. Again, I'm going to just pull sun out. Pull first crack. Minutes. Yeah, it fell off. That's probably because I keep pulling out the trier. Some minutes. Maybe 2 minutes. I think we're going to second crack. I'm gonna pull out of this. So 2 minutes 30. So at least the cool thing with this roast I could show you at least is if you look at it just in by and large, you could follow that if you keep it at a constant heat, um, the RO curve will tend to follow this naturally, this kind of upward progression and downward progression. It's only when you start adjusting the fire percentage or whatever, the heat percentage, that's when it becomes, when you start getting wildly fluctuating RORs, um, causing some inconsistencies in your rows. But, the big thing is people want these declining ROR curves, and you really don't have to do too much. You really could just keep the temperature the heat percentage at the same, and it will kind of just follow this curve. Like Rob Houston and Morton Munchhouse were talking about this in the stream, um, and even Morton Munchhouse goes on even more to specifically talk about like how ROR isn't maybe that great of a metric to use. It's not the end all be all. It don't what he was mentioning was like you don't have to heavily rely on an ROR curve like this because trying to perfect it maybe doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of roasting. Now, there are Kaleido and Skywalkers do have a different type of heat transfer type. Let me turn this off. So they have two different. It's a completely different heat transfer types. One is radiant heat based, and the other one is a more convection, and that's Kaleido. Kaleido is more of a convection heat roaster, so it's hard to compare. I would say the both of them in terms of heat transfer type, since we don't have too much information regarding radiant heat roasters. The only true like radiant heat roasters um, that aren't using like a lot of convection is like Rubase, and Rubase is a big one, and I think the Sandbox R2, the way that it positions the bulb in the middle of the drum, because what makes it really more a radiant dominant heat roaster is the position of the bulb so close to the beans, where the Skywalker has the bulbs, the lamps right in the center. Move this out of the way. I need to put some lotion on. The sky and these have their units at the side away out of the drum, so the heater goes in here, heater goes in there, and then if you were to look at how Kaleido describes their heat transfer, it has this convection type, and they seal them now. They're called sealed versions of it to really improve upon the convection heat transfer type. Where if you look at a Skywalker, it's spot welded everywhere. There's air gaps everywhere because it's not relying on convection heat to an extent. It's relying mostly on radiant heat. So there's people out there, like certain people have been roasting with the Skywalker long enough. They're talking about how maybe you don't need to follow this declining ROR curve because everybody is searching for this curve, right? You want to let's go look at like to use Talal as a prime example. Not to say that his roasts are bad. He's just saying he has really nice profiles when it comes to like that look, that declining curve over time. Let's see if he has one. So here, let's find one. I want to find an earlier one because he's been. Wait, this one got a 4. What did he do here? Okay. I think he just forgot here, but you could tell like the curve is more pronounced here. It drops down a little bit faster, and people are kind of going for that look. in terms of having how they manage their heat to have a declining ROR curve. But that's for usually for convection type roasters. Well, people at another guy who's been roasting with Skyward for a long time is we're probably not looking for that curve because it's transferring heat around the bean and to the side where radiant heat is doing more on the outside. It's radiant, so you gotta think about like those what did he call it, like a rotisserie, right, with a lamp, and it's roasting the outside of the bean, but it's penetrating at the same time, so it's going deeper and it's kind of having that heat transfer over down into the bean, so it's different. Where there's no penetration when it comes to convection and type heating. So the ROR curve might look a little bit different for. So instead of having like that sharp decline, yeah, like kind of like this, where it's like a nice slow decline, but it's still. Usually, sometimes you'll find convection roasters will have it like a little bit steeper. But with the Skywalker, mentioning that maybe we just keep the ROR kind of flat for a Skywalker because of the radiant heat. Because what you're doing is you're keeping at that same heat, it's roasting the outside, it's penetrating inside, and it's going in a little bit at a time, so you keep it at that same kind of percentage. Because roasting on this, it's completely different. Roasting on a Kaleido, I literally kept the heat the same, and I think I didn't even change it. I think I changed mostly the air because air plays a bigger factor in the bean cooling and whatever. So I think I changed that mostly. Where if you're doing a Skywalker roaster, you're putting, if you have it like 80% of heat, that's a lot of outer surface like heat being applied to the bean, causing like probably causing a little bit of scorching. So you're dramatically adjusting the heat on that. Anyways, Skywalker, Kaleido, I think they're both great roasters. One's tad more expensive, a little bit more closed, and I should say tad. It's more expensive by far. Where you have a Skywalker, which is cheaply built, and it being cheaply built, there's a lot of cheapness to it that you're able to modify because they didn't put all those kind of safeguards like they would on a Kaleido, or Kaleido encodes their protocol on the tablet, so people can't just add high beam or artisan willy-nilly without having to pay the premium at one point when they were selling units. Before, some vendors would sell the unit with just the pad, and then you would pay extra $200 to get the artisan dual version, so you have both the tablet and artisan connected. I know people have certain opinions of it. I think it's a shitty practice, but I'm glad like places like Espresso Outlet doesn't do that. So they offer it as artisan, and then you can buy the tablet if you want to. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this tablet. I don't like the way it feels when you press the buttons, and I hate how small the buttons are to do for adjustment. But then you have Skywalker, where it was built to be cheap. It was built to be the $150 roaster to produce, $400 to sell. It's very obvious, quality-wise, that it is not up to snuff, but it's also not $1,000, $2,000. So with the Skywalker, you're getting cheaper parts to replace. These parts break all the time, and they cost like $14 to replace. The motors, I don't think were ever specified for this type of heat and time, so I wouldn't really think these choices of like motor and fan on the Skywalker, they're all made to fit within this budget of how close can we bang for your buck sell a roaster that's $150 to produce, to be like, sell it for $400. And you could really feel that was kind of like the main focus. So yeah, I think if you're looking for a roaster and you definitely want to don't want to do any modifications, let's buy one, cry once. I don't think there's anything wrong with buying a Kaleido. Just be wary that sometimes the replacement parts at your vendors will cost a lot more, even though you can literally buy the same power supply. I think they sell for 80. You could get, I literally bought the same power supply, a WX power supply on AliExpress for like 20. Same type, same brand, same everything. It's just it's expensive because the vendor sells it a little bit more. I think it might be a little bit of a markup. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you could that same brand and everything I found on AliExpress you could buy for 20 bucks. Controller board, if it goes out, and it has been known to go out, can easily cost north of $400 to replace if you're out of warranty. The warranty is great; they'll replace anything that breaks, but if once you're out of warranty, you're pretty much fucked. So that would be, so you can always just say like that'd be like a $400 replacement. And I think the motor itself is like $80 that they sell maybe at Espresso Outlet, when you could buy those kind of type of motors on AliExpress with some digging and some vendor talking. You could talk to vendors to specify the kind of motor you want and the shaft, and you could sometimes do that. Oh, you can do that. I found the motor on AliExpress. They're not using like these groundbreaking parts. A lot of this stuff you could look very familiar to the 3D printing world. But I think you do pay a premium for the body. This is built like a tank. This has nice cool down Lambo doors. It's an overall nice unit. I honestly think if you have the money to buy and you don't want to deal with all the kind of bullshit that happens with the Skywalker in terms of like breakdowns, repairs, bulb changes, yada yada yada, then maybe this is the roaster for you. But $400 and another maybe $100 in mods, you got a pretty fun unit on a Skywalker. It just depends on you, your budget, and what you want to deal with. There's people out there that don't want to have to deal with replacing a drum motor, even though it's dead easy, or having to replace a bulb, which is not dead easy. It's a little bit more work, but it's manageable. But you could definitely feel the differences in quality of life, because their bulbs replacing bulbs on a Kaleido is a lot easier than replacing it on a Skywalker. And yeah, you could definitely feel the price differences. But I know there's people who claim that the roasts that come out of a Kaleido taste better than a Skywalker. I own both. Bufu, it doesn't. They taste pretty similar to me. I don't know what else to tell you. I actually think the Q bean, I kind of prefer how the beans come out of there versus the Skywalker. So yeah, but yeah, if you got that money and you want to spend some good money, get either a Kaleido, or I'd probably just, if you know you're going to be roasting a lot and you feel like you're going to start your business, then you might want to consider an M10 or a Bullet. Now, I prefer the Bullet, I just don't prefer the price. When you're talking about a Bullet, you're talking about $4,000 versus I think an M10 is like $3,000. But if you don't have $4,000 to blow on a roaster, and you can't go wrong with a Skywalker at $400. A V1, not a V2. I don't recommend a V2 too often. There's just some choices on the V2 I wasn't very happy about. Like if you were to look at a V2, they added a drum motor, not that great. They added a cooling solution for the drum, not that great. The They said they were going to have PID on a V2, complete shit. That's through Artisan, so you technically could do the same thing on a V1 just by clicking on the software of Artisan to handle PID. So it was never hardware PID. That's what they kind of alluded to. The tablet is a $35 tablet. They upcharge for $100. There's no point of having that tablet other than to turn on Bluetooth. The really nice feature, though, it does have a USB cable, old USB, not 3.0, but old USB 2.0 that with the CH3041 driver, you can connect it up to a PC and get to use use Artisan through it. So it's one of the nice options is that it's ready for Artisan, where the V1 isn't ready, but we made it ready. Other than that, V1, V2, basically the same. Bulbs are the same. The drum inside is the same. All the internal bearing parts are the same. It's just V1 costs $400 more. And right now, a V1 and all the modifications I'm doing with the backpack and the drum motor attachment and the heatsink cooling, it's probably going to amount to like maybe an extra $100 if you really want to spend. But more than likely it's going to cost, probably get away with $50 worth of mods to get a running Artisan. Although the motor is like 25 now, so maybe like $50, $40, $70 to get it running. Yeah. Yeah, QC is another issue with the Skywalkers you have to kind of deal with. Not all Skywalkers are built this equally. I've had ones that are complete shit and break within like 5 roasts because of a bad lamp, drum, bearing, skewed bearing holder that makes the drum angled a little bit. You get those QC issues more than you would with the Kaleido. But since they sell on Amazon, you literally could have a bad unit and return it to them, and it gets sent to me where I get to fix it and show you how it works. So that's a little bit different. Yeah, but if you're on the fence about getting a Skywalker or Kaleido, definitely I'd shoot for Kaleido if you want to spend that extra cash. But if you're strapped on cash, you want to roast for fun, and the popcorn popper B-more is not cutting it anymore, yeah, I would definitely throw the Skywalker V1 out there. But if you want a good looking machine, I also have a Cormorant. I got to build up. It uses gas. I haven't used it yet because I haven't found the need to use it. But I kind of want to just to compare the roast because it would be more of like conduction roasting because the way it's set up. I think it heats the beans through the drum. I'm not sure. I got to look at how they set it up. But anyways, yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna go cut these beans in half. I'm gonna report what I find, and then if the parts for tomorrow come in, I'll complete the backpack setup and show everyone, do a full release of that. And I'm probably gonna do more comparing roasts, probably with the Cafe Logic next, and then once I get high beam set up on the Cormorant, we'll go ahead and do a nice little stream and on that, because that'll probably be a different way of roasting as well. Yeah, very interesting roasting with this Kaleido. I've only roasted maybe like a handful of times, and each time has been different. I just wish I wish I had the Artisan setup, but I have an ESP32 almost there, so I just got to give it a little more time. I might have to get the logic analyzer and see what's going on between the communication from here to there and sniff those packets out and see if I can emulate whatever this is doing. Because it does have like a manual mode and an automatic mode. I just don't know if there's a way I could set that up to work with high beam. I probably could, but we'll see. Actually, I think I know how it does it. Anyways, well, thanks if you joined. I actually had to leave and pick up my kid, which was hilarious. Um, iOS works great. Okay. Sorry, I was reading one of the other guys. All right. Anyways, future things to look out for. Kaleido. No, not Kaleido. High Beam is going to release a feature version with Windows on it. Um, it should be Windows capable, and the one for iOS is working just fine. From what I understood. So if you got any of the Mac Silicon kind of stuff, that should work okay. Um, what else is the other thing? Oh, there's just been this guy. Um, let's bring it up real quick. Something Avery. I'm gonna bring up his website. It looks like a lot of people are having a great time with the software he's offering. Um, although I know a few people are upset that he's kind of been spamming. So, but it's all right. I haven't set any spamming rules in the Facebook group, but let's pull it up. I like how I didn't set up a no spam and self thing on mine, but on his group that he set up, he did. That's smart. Um, well, let's go to his website. It's called AV Coffee Tools Community. Yeah, he was spamming that shit. Uh, oh shit! It's like $129. Oh. You know what? I really thought it was cheap. If you spend 135 bucks, and subscribe. I don't know. I have a weird feel. I don't know how he. I gotta see what theory he has behind his code, the roasting style. If he's just like using AI, or maybe I shouldn't have. Oh well. Oh, interesting. Okay. Coaching strategies? I don't know. I always feel weird about that. Yeah, I feel like he's using like AI to kind of tell you like it's underdeveloped. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe he's having good. Well, he's charging 129 bucks. He must be doing pretty good. But yeah, that's what's it called? AV Coffee, if you want to take a look. That's other software for managing and producing roasts and whatever. All right, I'm gonna cut it here. I got to go back and clean the house, but anyways, if you're somehow still here, thanks for joining. I'll do another one with Kaleido, but I'm gonna go cut these beans up and I'll talk with y'all later.